And now we begin the series of reports marking the 21 years after the death of the man who was recognized as winning the 1993 presidential election 20 years after he died. Correspondent Sarah Ayeku takes a look at the man, Chief MKO Abiola, as family man, friend, and one loved by his kinsmen.
That was my best friend. I could tell you that. I mean, my dad was old when he had me. He was kind of older. I think he was in his 50s already, but he was my best friend. He was a busy man, but he was still intuitive about other things.
Moshood Kashimao Olawale Abiola was born into a humble home in Abeokuta, Ogun State on the 24th of August, 1937. The 23rd child of his father. His story is one of a young boy who grew up in abject poverty, but rose by sheer dint of personal effort and resilience to sit at the head of the higher echelons of the global business community and Nigerian politics. On the day he was born, the family of Alhaji Salahuddin and Suliat Abiola hoped for a survivor to break the jinx of infant mortality in their family, and he did. His home in Ojagbo Gbagura, Abeokuta, has left little to show it once housed the legendary philanthropist who held court there in his lifetime. Known as Balogun Ojo in his neighborhood, the Babaguma of Egbaland and the Are Ono Kakanfo of Yorubaland, everyone in his hometown seems to have a piece of his memory etched in their minds. Mama Fausatu Yesufu tells us her experience with him. She feels more can be done to preserve his memory in Gbagura.
Ohun gbọgbọgbọgbọ ló yẹ kán ṣe ìtọ́jú fún jù torọkùnrin tó ná rí tó forí tì tó fi jẹ́ pé Ọlọ́run.
He deserves more honor. He was very determined and resilient. His home should be an epitome of democracy because he laid down his life for Nigeria. So we want the government to refurbish his house like they did for Ayinla Omowura and Fela Kuti for the world to see.
Chief MKO Abiola attended African Central School, Abeokuta, for his primary education, and later moved on to the Baptist Boys High School, Okegunya, Abeokuta, for his secondary education. The school has since been moved to another location. In 1960, he obtained a government scholarship to study at the University of Glasgow, which he earned a degree in accounting and later qualified as a chartered accountant. Chief Abiola worked as a senior accountant at the University of Lagos Teaching Hospital, after which he secured a position with American Multinational Pharmaceutical Corporation. This building was built 43 years ago by late Chief MKO Abiola, and it is said that Chief MKO Abiola was always in this house during festive periods or any ceremonious events to celebrate with his kinsmen. The house is now occupied by members of his extended family. Alhaji Safiu Kazim is one of the custodians of his home. He moved here in 1985 when he retired from the army. No one is sure of how many wives and children Chief Abiola had before his death at the age of 60.
How many wives do you have? I cannot even say for sure because there are very many. So, but the first wife he had was not Simbiat Abiola. That is Mama Lola. That I don't know her name. He is the person who can say this is the number of wives he had. Because on record, unless you go to the history.
Simbiat, whom he married in 1960, was opposed to his involvement in politics, but helped his rise to regional chairman of the telecommunications giant ITT. She died in 1992. And the more politically ambitious Kudirat, whom he married in 1973, became the senior wife. In Lagos, the nostalgic feeling engulfs the once bubbly home of MKO Abiola. His Lagos home holds the Nigerian flag, few photos, faint memories of his life and struggle as a Democrat. Chief Abiola secured the presidential nomination of the SDP ahead of the June 12, 1993 presidential elections. Chief MKO Abiola died on the 7th of July, 2 days to the 20th year remembrance of his father.
It was a sad moment. If you're familiar with the history, my dad died in '98. My mother, she passed away in '96. So I can really say that I basically lost both of them in 1993 after the elections.
Sarah Ayeku, TVC News, Lagos.